Every single day, millions of us reach for medicines to keep us healthy or to get us through a tough time. But have you ever really stopped to think about the massive, totally invisible system that's working around the clock to make sure that pill is safe? Well, that hidden world, that's what we're diving into today, the world of pharmaceutical quality.
I mean, it's a question that affects every single one of us, right? When you pop that pill out of the blister pack, what is it that gives you the confidence that what's inside is exactly what it's supposed to be? Not a little more, not a little less. The answer is a whole discipline called quality assurance. And to get a sense of just how serious this all is, let's start with this number, $190 million. That's an M. That was the fine a huge pharma company, Sanofi, had to pay back in 2022 because of manufacturing problems. So right away, you can see this isn't just about ticking boxes. We're talking about massive financial and, of course, public health stakes.
And that brings us right into our first section. See, in the pharmaceutical industry, quality isn't just a nice goal to aim for. It's a non-negotiable, legally enforced necessity. And when it fails, the consequences are severe for everyone involved.
So what happens when things really go wrong? Well, according to the FDA, if a drug isn't made following the rules, what they call good manufacturing practices, it's legally considered adulterated. That's a heavy word, and it kicks off serious regulatory action. In 2023 alone, the FDA sent out over 1,100 of these warning letters. The price tag? On average, almost $15 million for a single violation. But honestly, forget the money for a second. The real damage is to patient trust. Once that's gone, a company's entire future is on the line.
So how on earth does the industry manage all this risk? The answer is something called quality assurance, or just QA. Now, it's really important to think of QA not as like a police force looking for problems, but more like the architect that designs the entire system to prevent problems from ever happening.
At its heart, quality assurance is all about being proactive. It's not about checking the product at the very end and hoping it's okay. No, it's this holistic system that covers everything, literally from the moment the raw ingredients show up at the factory door all the way until that medicine is shipped out. The whole idea is to design quality into every single step.
This quote right here, this absolutely nails the QA philosophy. It is all about prevention. It's about building a process that's so strong, so robust, that mistakes are just really unlikely to happen in the first place. And that's the key difference that separates it from its partner, quality control. Okay, this table really clears things up, because you hear QA and QC thrown around together all the time, but they are not the same thing. QA, quality assurance, is the architect. It's focused on the process. It's proactive. It uses things like audits and procedures to design a good system. Then you have quality control, QC. That's the inspector. QC is focused on the final product. It's reactive. It happens after the fact, using lab tests and inspections to find defects. So, to put it simply, QA builds the blueprint for quality. QC checks if the final building matches that blueprint.
So, we get the theory, but what does a QA department actually do? What does this system look like when the rubber hits the road?
Well, its scope is, frankly, it's huge. QA is responsible for enforcing those good manufacturing practices, or GMPs. That's the fundamental rulebook. They manage all the critical paperwork, like standard operating procedures, SOPs, which are basically the super detailed step-by-step recipe for every single task. They check the equipment, they audit suppliers, they manage any changes to the process, investigate problems, run training programs, and here's the big one, they have the final authority to say, yes, this batch of medicine is good to go.
Let's just zoom in on one key process, called CAPA. It stands for Corrective and Preventive Action, and it's basically problem-solving on steroids. So when something goes wrong, a deviation, QA doesn't just slap a Band-Aid on it. First, they investigate. Then, they dig and dig to find the real root cause. Only then did they put in a corrective action to fix the immediate problem and a preventive action to make sure it can never, ever happen again. It's this powerful cycle of constant improvement.
But of course, the world of pharma never stands still. Just when you think you have a handle on the systems, brand new challenges pop up, which makes QA an incredibly dynamic field.
QA professionals today are juggling some major hurdles. For one, regulations are constantly changing all over the world. Supply chains are insanely complex. Get this, over 70% of drug ingredients are sourced internationally. In our digital age, just making sure all the electronic records are secure and can't be tampered with is a huge job. And to top it all off, it's getting harder to find enough skilled people who can actually run these incredibly complex systems.
So, with all that, where do things break down most often? This is really fascinating. Over half, 54%, of all compliance failures can be traced right back to human error. And this is exactly why having these robust, well-designed systems and constant training is so critical. The whole point of the system is to support people and catch those inevitable human mistakes before they can ever impact the product.
So how is this field of vigilance evolving? Well, to meet all these modern challenges, QA is starting to embrace some really cutting-edge technology to build the quality systems of the future.
First up, the obvious one, automation. I mean, think about it. You've got robotic arms that can fill vials with perfect precision 24/7 without getting tired or distracted. When you automate repetitive tasks, you dramatically reduce that risk of human error, and you guarantee consistency.
Then you've got artificial intelligence. And this is where things get really cool. Imagine an AI algorithm that's monitoring thousands of data points from inside a manufacturing tank. It could spot a tiny temperature fluctuation that a person might miss and flag it as a potential problem hours before it actually becomes one. That's predictive quality.
And it's not just the tools. The very way drugs are made is changing. So instead of the old way of making one giant batch at a time, kind of like baking a huge cake, a lot of companies are moving to what's called continuous manufacturing. It's more like an assembly line with a constant, uninterrupted flow. This slashes variability and lets them check for quality in real time, not just at the end of the process.
And remember that crazy global supply chain? To tackle that, companies are looking at blockchain. This tech creates a super secure, unchangeable digital log of a product's journey. It's a powerful weapon against counterfeit drugs because it means you can trace the medicine in your hand all the way back to its original, verified source.
So when you boil it all down, the crucial point is this. Quality assurance isn't just some department in the basement that enforces rules. For it to actually work, it has to be a culture, a mindset of constant vigilance and a deep commitment to always getting better that has to be a part of everyone's job in the organization.
And that really leaves us with one final big thought. We are heading into an era of unbelievably complex and personalized medicines. And the huge challenge ahead is making sure that our systems for assuring quality, these guardians of our health, can evolve and adapt fast enough to keep us all safe. It's a critical question for all of our futures. Thanks so much for joining us.